What's up, guys? My name's Beckett, and we went back to Outriders. I've been spending a few hours off and on this demo. I haven't been grinding any legendaries or anything crazy, but I was kind of waiting to see how the devs have been communicating, and so far they've been communicating quite well, and let's hope they keep doing it in the future in a post-launch sense after the sales have already come in. But before we get started, if you enjoy the content, leave a comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you don't like supporting big tech, you can find me over on Odyssey, which is a YouTube alternative. So, all right, let's get into it. Let's get into some of these fixes. There is only a few fixes, but there are some big ones like motion blur, and I am so glad this got fixed because it was fun playing the game, but about every hour or so, it would make me dizzy, or at a certain point, it just wasn't fun to play. It was just messing with my eyes, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go play something else. I'll come back and play this game again, and I put about 20 or 30 hours in the demo. Seems like a lot, but I know a lot of people have been putting 200 or 300 hours, which is insane. You guys farming legendaries are being a little crazy, but there'll be a lot of game to play, so don't get burnt out on it before you even get to play the full game. Next, let's talk about cinematics. Now, they were a huge problem for me, and it looked like Michael J. Fox was holding the camera most of the time, and it still feels like that a lot. Some of them are a little smoother, and they said they're going to do more fixes post-launch. So as for me, I've already just been skipping the cinematics just because it looks crazy to watch. It really takes a lot of the immersion out of the game, especially when we're dealing with multiple cinematics all the time. I wish they would find more creative ways to deal with the loading screens, but I don't think that is going to change, nor do I think the voice lines or the story is really going to change up that much. That's just way too expensive. But let's talk about some things that do need to change. Now, as for people just completely losing their inventory, it still has not been fixed, and there are posts probably every 5 or 6 posts I see about Outriders. You'll see, I lost my inventory, I lost this. Go to their Twitter feed, I lost my inventory. We got to see that fixed before launch. That's going to be a big break, and it's just going to make a lot of people quit, or you hit that 2 hours or before your 2 hours on Steam. I'm going to go get a refund if it is still happening on my loss of inventory. It's just not going to be fun. Just imagine if that happens when we're at tier 15, you got a max out character, all of a sudden you have a naked character and you can't get that inventory back. Now, as for the cover system, I do think it needs to be fixed a little bit. I'm not talking about overhauling. I don't expect to see an overhaul on that. This is not the Division. This is not really a cover-based shooter. There are a couple classes that really use it. I would mostly look at the Technomancer, but I think when we get to endgame, we are just all going to be blowing things up to smithereens. Now, my 2 biggest gripes with the cover system is, one thing, I'll go into a cover spot and then I'll jump out of it really quick and I can't even go back into that cover spot, or I'm not even trying to go into cover and for some reason my character falls into cover. That's just not really fun. I hope that gets fixed. Now, probably the most severe problem with the cover is just the amount of damage it takes to pop you out of cover, and it's just not fun. Maybe you are setting up your skills to just destroy the whole room and you get knocked out of cover by one bullet, by one hit, and it's just not a fun experience. Now, let's say you get hit by an interrupt. That's acceptable. You know, you get hit by something from the enemy, maybe an enemy captain, enemy boss that is supposed to pop you out of cover. Now, hopefully post-launch, we will be a little more resistant to a bit of damage before we get popped out of cover instead of just that first initial hit. It can just be very disruptive to the gameplay. Overall, it is nice, but nobody should be happy or should be like, oh, this is the most incredible developer. They're communicating now. They should be communicating now. They are trying to sell a game. Let's hope they keep this communication up, keep these patches up, just keep us always informed on what's going on, if they're fixing problems, and not let us know every 3 or 4 months, or we're about to sell a DLC and it's about to come out. We're looking at people like you, Bungie, who talks about every 4 months, and they're like, oh, they're doing good, they're talking now. Yeah, you talked once every 6 months. That does not count. So let's just hope they keep this up. They've done a lot of good work, and there's a lot more work that needs to be done, and I am very excited about this, but I am still on the fence. It could go either way, but don't expect this to be a Division 2. Do not expect this to be a Destiny. I wouldn't even expect this to be an open world shooter. This is more of like an arena shooter, and if they do arena shooting well with the different skills and classes and RPG elements, it can be very well. I'm really hoping the expeditions are a lot larger than, like, say, the starting area. Although the starting area was very small, to say it's a demo, you can say what you want. I think a lot of the game is going to be like this. We're going to be going down different lanes, different paths into a bigger arena and kind of rinse and repeat. We just hope that they're more diverse when we get into expeditions. I hope we have a lot bigger arenas to play around with, and I will be fairly happy with this game. Like I said, I'm not expecting a Division 2. I'm not expecting a Destiny. I'm not expecting a big open world looter shooter, but they do have the opportunity to carve out their own niche with a big arena, with different classes, those RPG elements, and just really make us have a fun, engaging time. Hopefully they find a way to do it without making us feel constrained in a little box. That is my biggest worry. I want to have a lot of room to run around and play around with these different abilities, especially with the Pyromancer. The Devastator looks really fun, but the Devastator also feels really overpowered right now. So maybe we'll see some class balance, but you never know. Maybe by the time we get to endgame, the other classes are just going to be leaps and bounds above the tank Devastator class. We are going to see, we have the launch coming up April 1st or April 2nd, so look forward to seeing you guys. Hopefully we get some more changes and I will be all aboard on the Outriders train. Other than that, if you're looking for other videos, I cover a lot of Division 2. We do tutorials, build guides, Division 2 news, Outriders news, all of that. If you're looking for that, go ahead and check out my channel, and thanks for watching.